We all agree that dangerous, unstable individuals who intend to harm themselves or others should not have access to weapons. And that should be done in a way that requires due process and a high burden of proof, supports law enforcement, punishes false reporting, enhances mental health support, and preserves the Second Amendment for law-abiding citizens. Tennesseans agree with this. Legislators agree with this. Second Amendment advocates agree with this. And so throughout the last couple of weeks, I've worked with members of the General Assembly, constitutionally minded Second Amendment protecting members, to craft legislation for an improved order of protection law that'll strengthen the safety and preserve the rights of Tennesseans. To be specific, I'm proposing that we improve our state's law so that it protects more Tennesseans and reaches more individuals who are struggling and in need of mental health support.
Tennessee Governor there, Bill Lee, is talking about adding some, or is requesting that lawmakers add some red flag laws, but he never said the term because he's afraid of what they might say in response. Instead, it's order of protection laws or people that are struggling, which is perfectly fine ways of saying it. Cool. This is politics, of course. You have to soften the blow when it comes to trying to protect people from being murdered on a wide scale. So I talked about those Republican lawmakers that he's calling to do this. The reason why he's trying to avoid angering them a little bit too much is because they want nothing to do with it. So he continued on with that.
The only thing standing in our way is politics on both sides of the aisle. National politicians and pundits, even the White House, are calling our proposal something that it's not. Red flag is nothing but a toxic political label meant to draw lines in the sand so nothing gets done. This is hard. I've said that all along. But in Tennessee right now, if a husband threatens to hurt his wife, an order of protection would temporarily restrict his access to weapons to protect the spouse. If that same man threatens to shoot himself or a church or a mall, our proposal will provide that same level of protection to the broader public. So once again, I'm asking the General Assembly to take a vote on this improved order of protection proposal before they end the legislative session. We owe Tennesseans a vote.
Governor Bill Lee agrees with some of these Republicans. If we do something like call them red flag laws, those are political labels that are meant to divide and draw lines in the sand. So people saying red flag laws, they're looking to make people who are against limiting some of these gun deaths. It's trying to anger them and get them to not do it. Why would anyone who's trying to advocate to do something purposely make up a line to get the opposing side to disagree with it so nothing gets done? It doesn't make much sense, but still, let's go ahead and find a way to both sides this, which he did. It's the surprising part. But after he then did that, I was wondering, I said, man, Bill Lee came forward. He's actually asking for something, in my opinion, not enough, but asking for something so it's a start. This might have something to do with the fact that this hit close to home, that last shooting at the Covenant School. Let's watch.
Children woke up without parents, without teachers. Maria woke up this morning without one of her best friends, Cindy Peak. Cindy was supposed to come over to have dinner with Maria last night after she filled in as a substitute teacher yesterday at Covenant. Cindy and Maria and Catherine Kuntz were all teachers at the same school and have been family friends for decades.
So it hit pretty close to home. He lost a family friend, so maybe now he wants to do a little something about it. So he called on these Republican lawmakers to do something. This is their a statement they put out on Twitter from specifically the Tennessee House Republicans. They said, any red flag law is a non-starter for House Republicans. Our caucus is focused on finding solutions that prevent dangerous individuals from harming the public and preserve the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens. So when the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens is absolutely unlimited, then how can you do any of this? In other words, nothing. Continuing the back end of that, sorry, I'd had to interject my thoughts. We always have been open to working with Governor Lee on measures that fit within that framework. If it ain't that, we don't want anything to do with it. I have a translation for you guys in this next video. This is what they're saying.
So it's a horrible, horrible situation, and we're not going to fix it.
That's the consistent message from these folks. Jackson?
Yeah, and you know what? The dumbest thing about all of this is that red flag laws are the most common sense, I mean, it just makes sense. It makes sense that if someone is threatening someone with violence, even if it's themselves, they should not be able to purchase guns, or maybe should have them taken away. How is that a non-starter? If that's a non-starter, where are we going to start? But just like you said, we're not going to start anywhere. We're not going to do anything whatsoever. But the biggest issue is like gun violence in America is one of the most obvious problems that this nation has. Outside of economic issues, this is one of the most glaring issues that the entire rest of the world talks about. I'll be watching podcasts and they may be talking about, some time when they went to the hospital and they don't pay for this, they don't pay for that, they don't deal with these types of things. Was it on this show? I was on Unbossed. When there was some type of police situation with they had machetes and they were taking, like other countries have responded to these types of issues. And the most important thing isn't that they got it 100% right. It's that they try. You know what I'm saying? It's like they make moves. They actually try. And if this doesn't work perfectly, they try something else and they let one thing lead to the other. Republicans are just like, we're not going to do anything ever, period. It doesn't matter what it is. We ain't doing it. Because, again, if red flag laws are a non-starter, then we're never going to do anything. What are we even talking about?
Again, the layers keep coming off, the veils keep getting lifted, and then they're basically saying straight up, we're not looking to do anything. The only last step is once they say, the people who gave me money told me that we can't do anything. That's the only last.
Just come out and don't hide anything. I mean, really, look, it's because this is how I make money. So, I mean, y'all gonna have to do what you do. Buy bigger guns.
Yeah, the gun lobby and all that, the reasons that I'm here.
Because red flag laws, and then because they'll say this is where it starts. You first you do the red flag laws, and then the next thing the red shirts are marching down the street, and everybody's taking over your guns, and the government's going to come and they're going to own everything. Like it all starts with red flag laws. I mean, that's basically the argument they make. If we make any type of move, even an inch towards that direction, next thing you know, we're going to be a totally communist country.
I got to be honest. What I think they're afraid of is if those things are implemented, it might start working and then all of their narratives go away. Yes. That's the problem. They can't keep going off of that.